welcome back this week. Thank you for joining us. For those of you that don't know, I'm Kez. Phil is next to me and he reads out comments and questions. So if you've got any questions about what we're doing, then by all means ask away. We are working on the steampunk hat and goggles. We have done one goggle last week and we're going to work on the other goggle this week. So we're going to build up the layers nice and slowly and see if we can get this depth in these goggles. So if you want to switch my camera over, please. Thank you very much. So if you do have any questions, just stop that ding in. If you do have any questions, please ask away. I just find my picture on here. There we go. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be doing this goggle here. We did this last week, so we've laid down a lot of the base layers. We will be adding a few more layers to that, but we're going to get this one in this week. So I'm just going to zoom in just a bit so you can see. There we go. That's okay on there, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to see what we can do on here. I do apologise if you can hear the dog pacing around. She normally sits down nicely, but today she's decided not to. Okay, so here we have the Peter Child's machine that I'm using, and I'm using the spoon shader here, and I've actually got this on a number 3, and we're just going to be using the edge just here. Oh, no, that's not. We got it. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to be using the edge and then we're going to be using the tip as well, just to go around and define some of these edges on this goggle here. So we've got, I'm going to add in the really dark part, so just on this bit here is a really dark part, and then we've got a dark part that comes right down the length just there, around there. So we're just going to add that in. I'm just using the side and I'm just pushing away from me with this. There's not a lot of pressure on this pen at all, so I can actually hold, I'll move that there, I can actually hold this pen all the way up here, and you can see there's not a lot of pressure. So I'm going to do the swinging action, swinging motion, so backwards and forwards. So I'm touching the wood twice just to get that line in. Now this isn't dark enough by any means, because this part here is quite black, but we will go over in the layers and then it will be black. So do you want to say hello and give a shout to?
Yeah, I shall do. So joining us today is Bitten.
Hi Bitten.
Rob from Copper Wood Turning.
Hey up Rob.
Pauline.
Hi Pauline.
And Wayne People Woodcraft.
Hey up Wayne.
And Auntie Valerie will be somewhere
I'm
in the
Valerie.
background.
Hope you guys are okay. Hope you're doing okay after yesterday. So just gently getting this colouring down. It's like a base layer first. Gently getting this base layer in, because then what we can do is, now if we can turn up a little bit more, so I'm going to go to a 4, so we've just turned that up by 1, and again there's no pressure, and because we've got the base layer in, it's like puts the skin on the surface of the wood, so you don't get so much of the yellow overburn. But as you can see now, we can gently put that dark in without risk of the yellow edges. So you're just swinging backwards and forwards, just gently. There we go. What we've done, we've just plotted.
Wayne says they've only just put a big gazebo away.
Oh yeah.
At least it was still there.
Yeah. Now, are you saying that for the area that he lives in, or just because of the wind?
It was windy last night, so I'm assuming it was windy at his house.
It's always windy here. We live on a hill. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this back down again to number 3, because we're going to go in and bring this down here. So I'm going to use the sketchy motion. So I'm not going to do one continuous line, because it will look like my pen's running out. So I'm just going short movements and just bringing it down like this. Just enables me to get that base layer in. I'm going to come all the way down and meet where we've just done that dark part. I'm going to go over again. There's no pressure on this pen again. Just bringing that down. Nice soft shade. Now when you're doing this, you should be able to run your fingers over and not feel an indentation. If you're feeling a really deep indentation, it just means you've got a little bit too much pressure on your pen, and you just need to lighten up just a little bit. Just pulling that all the way down to meet that section just there. I think up here, just going to take this out a little bit wider just here, just because that is the way that the shadow is just.
Oh, there we are. He didn't risk it last night. He took the gazebo down last night, put it back up this morning to dry it.
Ah, right. There we go. Just going over the top. Just here. Now I'm not doing a really harsh line. This is kind of like a fuzzy edge. And go up this side here. What is she chewing? She looks chewing something.
She's now looking guilty.
No. What is she chewing?
Plastic tube she's pulled from down
gosh.
there.
Dog. So just carrying on with this, just to define this. This is going to be the reflection. So just nicely defining it. And I'll add this dark bit in here. It's just got a tiny dark bit that's really dark just here. So we get that plotted in, and then we can go up the side of that. It's a rim, isn't it? Is that what you call it?
I would say it's a rim.
I'm glad you're with me.
You thought I'd gone to sleep, didn't you?
It wouldn't surprise me. Every time Phil stops and sits, he nods off. No matter what he's doing. So just adding a little bit darker into there, just so we know that that bit's quite a bit darker when we're coming back over. So I'm going to take from the top of this rim here, just pull down. And there we are, just to add this shade in here. Still no pressure on this pen, and all I'm doing is using the swinging action, so it's going backwards and forwards, so it's hitting, well, I'm touching the wood, not hitting it, I'm touching it, the wood twice. There we are, just filling in that. Backwards and forwards. And what I'm going to do in a second is just turn this up. I'm going to turn this up to a number 4. What I'm going to do is just add in those really darks again. So, starting up here and coming around.
Nick Hughes has joined us.
Hey up, Mick, how you doing?
He's back in time for a bit of scrumbling, but you're not scrumbling.
No, I'm swinging.
And Bitten says, can you zoom in a bit more?
Yeah, sure. So if I put that down, and then, oh, wrong way. That's as far as my camera's going to go, Bitten. Just a tad. Is that camera further away?
Yes, it might be a bit unpleasant moving it around.
Yeah, okay. So just pulling that down.
I think the camera's been set up in a slightly different position today.
Yeah, what I'll do is for next week I'll make sure it's closer. I'm actually not banging my head on it. Normally I bang my head on it, don't I?
And Sharon's joined us.
Hey up,
She
Sharon.
says, I've been here the whole time.
Well, it's nice to say hello.
And Jane from JP Woodworking's just joined us.
Hey up, Jamie Pie. So just going up there, because just inside that rim it is just a little bit darker, just where it goes to here. Still no pressure on this pen. Side of here, so that is actually really dark, so just pulling that across and then just pushing up ever so gentle.
And Jacob from Jacked Up Leatherworks has joined us.
Hey up, Jacob, how you doing? I'll just pull that down this time. So sometimes I'll push up and sometimes I'll pull down.
Like buses today, everybody's joined us at the same time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Andrew from AGK Woodworks has joined us.
Hey up, Andrew. Yeah, sometimes I'll push and sometimes I'll pull. There's no real sort of, rhyme or reason to it. It's just sometimes it feels easier to pull and sometimes it feels easier, better to push, depending on, sort of which area I'm on and obviously what shape I'm going around. So there's no real sort of technical reason. It's just whatever feels good, and when you're burning it should be whatever feels good to you as well. So just going over that section there, just around the top of that rim. Now top of this rim, you've got this section that comes down that's actually, on the photo, is actually like a golden section. I know there's black and white photo up there. Probably in some respects that my reference picture should have been in black and white, but it doesn't matter so far. But then we've got this second line that's coming down, and that is actually where the dark rim is. That's where the dark, this is connected to this. It's just because this curves and it's got a light highlight on it that it looks like it's a different line, but it's not. So what I'm going to do with that is take that over there. Actually, that's a little bit dark. Turn this down to number 3. I had it on a number 4 to do the dark sections there, and I don't need it that dark for there, but we'll work with it. So just bringing that down. You stole a plastic bin.
Yeah.
You stole the dog's chew toy. So just, there we go. Bringing this down here. Bringing this line down. I think I might just swap over to the bigger spoon shader.
You can get a little bit more done faster.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm still going to use the spoon shader, but I'm just going to use this one instead. So it's just that little bit bigger. Because otherwise it might take me 6 hours to do this. So just plug that in. And that down. Now this particular machine here runs hotter than the Peter Child's. So where I've just had that on a 3, I'm going to put this on around about a 2.5. This still may be a little bit warm for this, but we're still just going to be using the side of the tip and the top of the tip to shade with. So let's bring that down. Actually, it feels better going up, so we're going to go up with it. You see, this is running a lot darker, as you can see, and it's only on a 2.5. So actually I'm going to turn that down to a 2. So if no matter what machine you're using, just stick with the tip that you prefer and a comfortable temperature for you. But that there has just filled that in reasonably fast.
And mixers, get Verni out if you want a quick fill.
Yeah, absolutely. I was contemplating using that actually, Mick. You have to be very quick when you're using that one because it does go really fast. Because it's a solid point burner, the tip stays hotter for longer, so the wood doesn't take the heat out of the tip quite so quickly. So it is really, really good for like larger black areas. But I wanted to get that section in there, which was it's a fine line, so that's why I started with the Peter Child's. So this bit here is actually quite dark, so what I'm going to do is move just a little slower. And the slower you move, so the slower you go, the darker it burns, and the lighter I'll put my teeth in.
You're doing very well today, aren't
No, I'm not. The slower you go, the darker it burns. The faster you go, the lighter it burns. No matter what pen you're using. I've been writing risk assessments and method statements all day, and then I've come and changed straight over to this, and my head is still somewhere else. It's not here. So just pulling that line up there, still going for a dark edge. It's soft edge, not a hard line. Realism does not have hard lines. There we go. Yes, like that. So in this section here, it is quite dark. So this, I'll use this one. This part here is a ribbon that goes all the way around the hat. So the ribbon's here and here as well, so it goes all the way around the hat. And half of this ribbon is in shade, which is this side, and the other half isn't, so it's a lot lighter. So what I'm going to do is fill in that part that it is in the shade. pull that all the way across, because it's actually going into this whole area here being quite dark. So I'm just pushing up with the shade, pull that across there just to define that line a little bit. And actually, here we go, Mick, I think I might scrumble. So just using small circular motions just to scrumble. There we go.
Yeah, Wayne says Valerie isn't convinced that I will not use this wood to make another shed.
You've still got more wood. And Valerie, at least it keeps him occupied, darling. There we go. It was fabulous to see you two yesterday as well. Pencil's dropping off my board. So just using the edge, but I'm still going to scrumble just across there. Very small circular movements. Just to get some of that dark in there nice and quick. I find that the scrumbling adds the dark relatively quick, but not too harsh. Doesn't always work for all areas, it depends on what shape you're doing. And because this is quite a big area, it's working quite well. So what's everybody been up to this week? Has anybody got anything exciting planned?
Oh, Wayne says it was a great afternoon. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome, darling. Thank you for inviting us. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. So I'm going to scrumble all the way up this section, I think. The kids absolutely loved it. And Valerie, did Cody show you his Crocs? Because he came to and wore his Crocs just so he could show you them, because apparently he likes them because he's got fur on the inside just like you. So he thought that was really exciting and he said he was going to show you. So just adding in that scrumble, so it's just given us a nice base layer.
Right, so Sharon says this Saturday I'm going to do my first vending outside selling my work.
Ooh.
At an event, arts and crafts fair.
Nice, that's always exciting. I hope it goes well.
I'm first time using her new tent.
Really? Have you put it up beforehand? Because otherwise everything always seems to go wrong if you put it up on the day straight away, doesn't it?
Mick says he's been teaching this week, first time in a long time.
Ooh,
it was great fun.
You've been teaching wood turning, Mick. I know you're a teacher of a lot of things. So just adding in layers of shade. There we go. Oh, Bitten. How did your portrait of your daughter go? I know you were doing one. How did you go with it? So, just here there's a line where the strap goes into the goggles. So we're just going to bring that up, and I'm going to use a swinging action because I don't want a harsh line. just want to define it a little bit so it's a little bit different from the rest. So when we shade over this section here, we know where this line is.
And Sharon says, long thanks, I've got to find a place to set it up.
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it?
Not sure if my apartment complex will like me testing it outside.
Yeah.
And Mick says, yes, helping some of the novices out from the club.
Nice.
So he's been teaching too.
He's teaching something you love, mate. Makes a big difference, doesn't it? And Sharon, what you can do is always put it up, and if they're not happy with it, ask them to put it down. Saves you doing it. So just defining that line just there.
Oh, so Bitten says,
Yeah.
I'm almost finished with the portrait,
Yeah.
the converse,
Yeah.
and the owl.
Wow. Oh, we need to sort out the owl. We've had a crazy month with the owl. Well, not with the owl. We've had a crazy month. Our little one has been in and out of hospital quite a bit. And when he's not been in hospital, I've been working the weekends. So we will sort out a date. We did aim for the 27th, was it? We did aim for the 27th of this month, but I think I might push it to the first Saturday of August. Just because it gives people time to sort out, because it's always only a week away, isn't it? So yeah, push it back. And what I'll do is I'll send out all the emails once I figure out how. I'm not very technical. I've got to work out how to send out the emails, but I will get them out. And I say I'm aiming for, I think we'll aim for the first weekend in August. No, the first Saturday in August, no, I don't think that's going to work, is it?
You have to think about that.
We've got DDWC on the first Saturday, which is the 6th. No, it's not the 6th, it's the 3rd.
We'll figure it out.
Sunday. I think might have to do it on the Sunday instead. But yes, we will get the second half of the owl done. And most people's probably already done it by now. But yeah.
Apart from you.
No, I haven't. I was the slowest. I haven't touched mine since. But yeah, no, it's just been a crazy month for lots of appointments and chemotherapy and flipping all sorts going off, and it just sort of fell right at the wrong time. So I do apologise.
And Mick says, best bit of the teaching was no reports or reviews to write and no managers getting under my feet.
Oh yes, they are the best teaching sessions.
No paperwork.
Yeah. Because the paperwork's a pain in the butt. Writing out your outcomes and everything else. So just add in some extra layering to this section here because it's really, really dark. But actually, I'm going to turn up to 2.5 again.
And Andy the Valley Woodton has joined us.
Hey up, Andy.
Mate.
How are you, Lucy and the kids?
And Sharon says, chemotherapy, question mark.
Yeah, our 10-year-old has chemotherapy, and at the moment he's going once a fortnight, and quite often he's not very well afterwards. So yeah, he's been a bit busy with him having that and not feeling very good. So work's been put to one side for those days, and then like it catches up, so we have to catch up on paperwork and everything else on the days that he's feeling okay. So it's just all come up once, that's all.
Midden says, I'm sorry, I thought I missed it. My daughter's 18th birthday has been taking all my time.
Yes.
Now rush. The owl will wait.
Yeah. No, there's no rush, Bitten. No rush. No, you haven't missed it. We haven't got round to it, and I'm sorry. We did plan on getting it done, sort of like just literally a couple of weeks later, but everything just fell wrong. So, right, so we got here. So this section here is a dark section again. So this is actually quite a lot darker than this here. So we're going to add this dark in. Now, I don't know if you can see it on the camera because this is only out to 2.5. I'll pick this up actually. And I've just gone down on here and it's actually given me quite a bit of a yellow overburn. Now I don't like that, so I'm going to turn this back down again to number 2 just to add this first layer in. Even though I want it dark, I don't want the yellow overburn.
Andy says Lucy's gone up to see her mum at the hospital and I'm looking after the 2 monkeys.
2 monkeys. Well, I hope everything's well with Lucy's mum, Andy. So just pulling that down. Into that there. There we go. And there's a line that goes across from there. Just gonna get it in very faint. It's just where that middle section meets both of the goggles. We've got quite a dark line that comes down there. And even darker over the top of there. There we go. So what I'm going to do is get some scrumbling done just here to add some of these layers in. Just quickly getting them in. There we are. This is nicely starting to layer up now. Let's pull that across there a bit more, I think. Just now this is really dark. So now what I'm going to do is slow down on the scrumbling just to add that really dark layer. As you can see, it's adding in there just nicely. Sometimes I find it really hard to scrumble slowly. I know I need to scrumble slowly, but I just automatically
Going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, isn't it? What are you laughing at?
Nick says you want to scrumble a womble.
Scrumble a womble. Remember you're the womble.
That's the earworm stuck in her head now.
Oh, I know. What's the womble song? Mick, what have you done? So just...
Oh, so Sharon's got a question for you.
Yep.
My shading is coming out blotchy at every temp, unlike yours. What am I doing wrong?
Blow your tip of your pen just before you place it onto the wood. Try it that way. If you do like this, before I place down, I'll blow. And what you have to do is you have to keep your pen in motion before you hit the wood. So if you imagine a child on a swing, and as they swing from the top and they go down, you're already in motion, you touch the wood and then come back up again. Now that's really slow, so I've got a darker blotch there, but that doesn't matter. I was trying to show you, and it's kind of like over exaggerating really. So it's just like that. And what happens is when you get the blobs, it just means that your pen has been stuck on the wood just for a split second longer, and it's not been in motion. It always has to be in motion to get the smooth shading. If you feel like you're stopping, pull up that pen. It's ever so easy to blotch. And I do, if I remember rightly, you've got the coal wood that runs really, really hot. So that may not help. I had a student in, when was it? Tuesday. Yeah, I had a student come here on Tuesday, and he brought his machine with him so I could show him how to use it and what pens to use, etc., etc. And he actually had the Coalwood Super Pro 2, I think it was, and I actually had a go with the Coalwood for the very, very first time. So yeah, the pens are very, very similar to these, and these fit on the Coalwood because we did test it out a bit. But his didn't run that hot.
Right, well if you pause a second then.
Yeah, okay.
Sharon says, I also have issues with the pen gets hottest at the beginning even when I swing it.
Yeah, blow your tip.
And the Coalwood doesn't run super hot, it just makes the pen hot.
Oh, right, okay.
I can turn it down to nothing.
Right.
So
okay.
maybe start at a lower temperature and keep inching it up until you get comfortable.
Yeah, lower temperatures I find are always better, especially for doing like lots of shading. I'd rather do lots of layers than too much burning overall. But yeah, definitely try literally just blow in the tip as you hear on the wood, and I haven't touched. I'm going to blow as I touch. Go. And it just cools the pen tip enough to be able to touch the wood with. It's something like having your pen in motion as you touch the wood is something to get used to, because you automatically assume because it's a pen it's going to be like a pencil, and unfortunately it isn't. So I'm just going to go across here. Define this line actually. Yeah, sometimes when I've got a bit of an unsteady hand, I will blow my tip as I touch down, and the kids actually laugh at me because when I go inside and I start doing like the schoolwork and stuff with them, I start blowing the tip of my pencil, and they always laugh at me because they know I've been wood burning because I'm blowing the tip of the pencil. I think it's hilarious. But it is something for you to get used to. I'm just going to add a little bit of scrumbling. So it's going to be a little bit darker here, but not quite as dark as that bit there. There we go. There we go, that's good. So we'll tackle this glass, I think, now. I don't know if it's glass or plastic, but we'll tackle it. So we're going to go from this dark section, we're going to go up into the lighter section. It's easier to go from darker to lighter with a burner than it is the opposite way around, because I'm doing straight lines. You can see my pen naturally looks like it's running out. It's just because the wood is taking the heat out of the tip as I glide across the surface. There we go. I'm going to pull this around in that shape, that circular, well, it's an oval really, isn't it? Oval shape. Think of it as being circular because when you would look at it straight on, it would be circular, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but in this picture it's more egg-shaped.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Time are we on?
15 minutes to go.
Ah. Did Mick say what we've got this week?
Nope.
So just pulling that up into that section there. This, I've got a stripe across here. Just across this section here, I've got a bit of a stripe because it's actually lighter on that wood. So I'm going to go in again with an extra layer. One of the kids coming in the workshop then. Who was it?
Cody.
The youngest. Just adding in that extra layer of dark. There we go. Onto where that line is. I'm going to do a scrumble across there. Hasn't really given me the desired effect that I'm looking for, but I'll work on that.
Mick says I sent you a message a few days ago. Thought you may have had a practice.
No, I didn't even see the message. You sent it on Messenger? You soon, and have a look.
Sneaks Walnut's just joined us.
Hey, Sneaks, how you doing? How's Mama Sneaks? I'm making him look in my messages. He hates looking in my messages because they're all messy and horrible.
Yeah, there's this stuff everywhere. Yep, we did.
You did?
We did.
I haven't seen it. Sorry, Mick.
So no, she hasn't practiced.
No, I haven't. Do you know how many times my phone dings a day? In fact, I normally have it on silent because it just dings way too many times for my liking.
So he says.
Go on, what have we got?
An easy pick for you. A sunset, being as the weather is so nice.
Okay. We'll have a bash at that.
He's wrote it on here now anyway, after you getting me going through all those messages.
There's only about 30 unread things.
Only.
Phil's brain is very, it's all in a box, it has to be nice and neat. And mine's not. Mine's completely opposite.
Yours is just random.
I don't know. I have thousands and thousands of notifications on my phone, and I think you'd have a hissy fit if you if you left all your notifications unread. So I get a notification and I go to read it, and then the kids or the dog or the cats or somebody will do something or tell me something, and then I just completely forget what I'm doing, go off and sort whoever it is out, and then come back and go, what was I doing? And I just never remember. I'm terrible for it. Absolutely terrible for it. So, right. Just going to define that just that little bit darker on this edge, and then we'll get to the blue torching. So this week we've got a sunset. Are you still sticking with the sunset mix since the weather's a bit cloudy today? And define that as well, just bringing that down.
Oh, spirit, wind, bones, stone and bone. I always get my tongue around that as joined us.
That's Heather, isn't it?
It is Heather.
Hey Heather, hope you're alright.
Right, and she's got a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you ever use a white charcoal pencil to highlight the lighter spots?
I don't use a white charcoal pencil, but I do use a white pencil crayon. I use a Faber-Castell Polychromo, or I'll use white acrylic paint. But if you've got a charcoal pencil, the white one, by all means go for it, use it. I just use what I've got. But yeah, they're absolutely fantastic for adding the highlights in. I must have about 4 different types of paint. There we go. So what I'm going to do is just leave that section there like that, and next week we'll come back and finish off this bit, and we will get to burning. So let's move that off there.
So Mick says, don't give me cloudy excuses just so you can burn everything.
Yeah, but come on. It's so much easier just to burn cloud. Just like spots of different flamey bits. Can't blame a girl for trying, Mick. So what are we? Oh, is it that one? I wonder. Come on. The one from that was last week's. We'll try for this week's. So sunset. Images, please. It's telling me the time. Sunset in the UK is going to be 21:17. It says on there. Where's my drummer?
It's way through it.
There. I got it. Got it. Pencil.
Now what you lost?
I need palette knife.
Yep, there. I've got it.
You got it. Right. So.
I thought you'd have been freehanding this with the blowtorch.
I tell you what, do you want the blowtorch? Would you like to freehand it, sir? I'll borrow that though.
Mick says, you're the artist, I'm the idea guy.
Oh, yeah. There we go. This is water. That's cloud. That's the one. Is that one good enough for you, Mick? He's like, nope. Of course it's not.
Sharon says, I have to go early. I had a ton of fun. I was actually able to follow along.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for coming, Sharon.
I didn't finish sometimes until I needed my pen to cool off a little.
Yeah.
But I had a ton of fun. A ton of fun. Thanks.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, as always.
I will need to do the recording stuff to catch up.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. They're staying on YouTube, so it's, you know, they're not. We're not in any hurry to take them down or anything like that. So anybody can catch up then. So putting that on there. So let's add this line in, I think. Oh.
Don't tell me you're messing it up already.
Yeah. Ooh. Don't know how I'm going to do this circle. Oh my gosh. So this is how you bring an artist of one medium out of their comfort zone. You give them something else to do. Oh my gosh. But it just proves that just because you're an artist doesn't mean to say that you can do every single medium in every single way. And this is burning just the same as what I normally do. Let's get some cloudy bits in there. So if we go and just add some lines in, it might look a little like cloud, it might not at all. There's a little bit of cloud that goes over it here, so we'll try. No, it's just like, there we are. Yeah. What are you laughing at? Trying not to burn my board. Trying to add this bit in. It's not looking much like a sunset, mate.
It's like a Pokeball.
Does look like a Pokeball, doesn't it? Playing Pokemon here. My 7-year-old will love that. He loves Pokemon. Uh-oh. No!
You got overconfident, did you?
Yeah, that's the one. Well, it kind of goes a really sort of lighter colour. A light yellow, you're just burning down, and then all of a sudden it's like goes, and you just got black. And I really don't want to burn my board.
Mick says, it's okay, we can use our imagination.
Thanks, Mick. I blame you anyway, it's your fault.
Just need to remember he started this.
Yeah. Do you believe it's can you scrumble with a blowtorch? Was the original question, sir.
Andrew says you're nailing it, Kez.
Huh?
You're nailing it. Yep.
Nailing the coffin? Is that what it is?
Problem is, Andrew, it was supposed to be a sunset, not a nail.
Yeah, that's it. Uh-oh. Yeah. Right if it didn't blob so much, but it just blobs. I get burn blobs with no touch. Right, so... try with this bit here. I'm going to melt me my eraser in a minute.
Andrew says, how I misunderstood the project.
Yeah, I think you did, mate. Oh. Oh. Oh dear me, Mick. I think the mushroom was better. I'm not quite sure it's going to make this look like water, but we'll have a go.
If it doesn't, you find out how not to make it look like water.
That's absolutely correct. And I can safely say, yep, that's the truth. Doesn't make that does not make that look like water. No. That was a terrible attempt. I give up. I nearly did that in my cup then. So, as you can see, this is how not to blowtorch a sunset. It really does not look anything like it.
Well, it's all right. Plus, Mick says start practicing wombles for next week.
Wombles! Oh my god. Orinoco.
Yeah, she's even picked the womble.
Oh dear me. I don't practice, and I don't practice on purpose. Just a bit of silliness, and just to show you that I'm human. So, right. I'm going to bring back to intro camera. So, there we are in this project, which is much better than this one, but this one's a bit of fun. So, well, I suppose this one's a bit of fun too. But yeah, we are there. We are doing the second part of the goggle. We will carry on next week, same time, Sunday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And we will see you soon, guys. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure as always. Bye.
Take care.